What's going on, folks? Rick here. I'm back with another video. I'm here to do a quick update video for you guys. Right now in front of the camera I have the Galaxy S7 and I have the Galaxy S7 Edge. And this really isn't a comparison video, but I will make some comparisons between the two devices. This is more of my first impressions of the Galaxy S7 Edge and what I think of it 2 days in. Now, before we discuss the goods in the device, I want to discuss some of the bad features of the device. Now, one of the things I really didn't like is the speaker. The speaker was surprisingly a bit lower. It's still a very good speaker. It's still very loud, but it wasn't as loud as the Galaxy S6 or the Note 5 speaker. And that could have something to do with the nano coating. It did seem a little bit more tinnier, and at full volume it wasn't as loud as its predecessor. One of the other issues that I had with the device is quite obvious. It's the lack of design, the lack of changing the design. The design is a very beautiful design. I love it. But at the same time, I would have liked them make some sort of a departure from the Galaxy S6. Now, basically looking at the S7, it's very hard from someone that's really not into tech to know the difference between a Galaxy S7 and a Galaxy S6. Right now, the Galaxy S7 that I have on the table looks almost identical, with the exception of the curvature on the back, to the Galaxy S6. Also, another bit of disappointment for me was it was announced to have Quick Charge 3.0 shortly before the event and the actual launch date of this device, or these two devices, and they wind up going with Quick Charge 2.0. And some of the reasons I'm being told that all the variants across the world will not have the same chipset. They will not have the Snapdragon 820. Some of them will be going with the Exynos processor that does not support Quick Charge 3.0. So with that being said, they decided to stick with Quick Charge 2.0. But the Quick Charge 2.0 on this device is still supposed to be somewhat faster than last year's variant. Not by very much, but it's still supposed to be faster. So now, with the bads out the way, let's take a look at this device one more time. Let's get an up close and personal look at it, and we can go into some of the key features on this device that I'm really loving this far into the game. So one of the key features that I'm really liking about this device is the edge design. The edge design, they made the curves on this edge a little bit more curvier, and a lot of the key features from the last two edge variants, whether it was the Note Edge that originally came out, and then the S6 line of edge variants of the S6 Galaxies, and it retains those key features, and at the same time it added a lot of new features to it. So some of the key features of the Edge line, like I said, it has the always on alarm clock you could have over here towards the side, and you could set it up to be always on. It will be dimly lit, and it probably won't show in the video very well, but if you slide your hand left to right across the edge, you could get a whole bunch of different information, a lot more than you could have got before. You can get some Yahoo ticker information, some stock quotes, and you could customize it to have a lot of different things over here. If you slide through it, let me try to do it again. If you slide through it, it has a lot of different things here. I added my steps to it as well. So today I did 11,800 and change in steps. It has some ticker information and things of that nature. Also, when you unlock the phone, like so, okay, we're going to go into the Edge right here. So now this is a cool feature of the Edge. You have My Place over here. So basically, when you're setting up your phone, it gives you the ability to select at home, at work, and on the go. And then you could customize these features as well. So basically what happens is you'll set in your GPS coordinates of your home, and as soon as you arrive at your house, you could set key features to go on and off. Like you could put your phone to automatically go into vibrate when you walk through your door, or automatically turn on Wi-Fi. And that's one of the features that I'm really enjoying, because a lot of times when I walk through the door, I may forget to turn on the Wi-Fi for an hour or so, and then I remember and I turn it on, not to waste my data usage. Now I do have unlimited with T-Mobile, but for someone that might have Verizon or AT&T or another carrier, that might be something really important to them. And then when you leave your house and you're on the go, it'll shut off Wi-Fi and automatically go back to your network carrier's internet. As well, when you arrive at work, you may want your phone to be on vibrate or on silent automatically, and it will do that. So that's a really cool feature there. And then also, if you notice the edge right here, try to zoom in a little bit. The edge right here is a lot bigger than before. So you have news feeds. It works great for one-handed operation. You could set up some favorites over here, which I did right here. And these are my favorite icons. So really, for someone that's looking for one-handed use, this is perfect. You don't have to go to the other edge of the phone to click on something. You could put any app you want over here, and you could customize it to be your own. And have a lot of different things you could choose from. You have your the people on your app that you really like. You could put on there as contacts. It has a compass, it has a ruler, it has a flashlight set up over here too. So there's a lot of things you could do to really make the edge your own. Now let's get out of that. Now, one of the main things that people were asking me in the comment section below was obviously battery life. And I really didn't want to make a video the first day in because I really wanted to compare the battery life from yesterday, which was the first full day I had it, to today. And I took some snapshots of that. Let's get into that. Okay, so here are some screenshots. So I took my phone off the charger from 100% at around 11 o'clock in the morning. This is 6:11 p.m. at night, and I still had 5 hours of screen on time. Now this is with medium to moderate use. A lot of YouTube on the way to work, on the bus, at my job in between meetings and things like that, checking emails, checking my social media and things of that nature. So I was really shocked at 6:11. I still had 5 hours of battery life when I went from a full charge at 11 a.m. So that was really good. So now if you scroll over, this is, again, the battery usage right here at 6:11 p.m. showing at 100% from 11 a.m. And at 6:11, I still had 5 hours remaining, which was the best I ever had on any device so far. So now this is another screenshot at 8:31 p.m. So from 11 a.m. to 8:31, I still had 2 hours and 30 minutes of talk time remaining. That to me was just amazing. Usually I'll average 3 to 4 hours, but to have averaged this many hours of talk time for me was just amazing. So I had realistically 9 hours of screen on time, and I still had another 2 hours and 30 minutes remaining. So that was definitely something I look forward to, and it's something that's amazing, especially if you have the Galaxy S7 Edge variant, because remember, it has a 3600 milliamp battery compared to the S7 over here, which has a 3000 milliamp battery. So I think battery life should be somewhat similar. I haven't been able to do my full review on the Galaxy S7 yet because I'm still reviewing the Edge, but I think you should have similar to maybe a little bit less battery life on the Galaxy S7, being that it has the smaller screen, but it also has the smaller battery. Another person wanted me to really get into the fingerprint scanner, and as you can see here, the fingerprint scanner works flawlessly. I have no issues with it, but I didn't have issues with the Galaxy S6's fingerprint scanner, and I thought it worked very well. And as you can see, every single time I'm tapping it, it works without a hitch. Also, there's one other thing here that's a new feature, which was the always on display. And being that I was playing in the settings with the Edge display here, let's look at this. Where is it? Hang on one second while I find it. Alright guys, so we're going to go into display. We're going to go into always on display, which is illuminated right now. And you could pick different options right there. You could have just the time. I chose to show the time and the calendar. Now, being that I turned the nighttime clock on, the always on display isn't illuminated right now. So let's go into this and shut that off. Night clock is off. So look at the night clock. I set it up between 10:45 and 9 a.m. But we could shut that off. So night clock is off. And once we shut off the phone, you'll see this is the always on display. Now this is a really good, move this over a little bit. This is a really good feature to have. It doesn't waste the battery life that much. It shows you a clock and it shows you a calendar. Now you could set up different features. You could have some different illuminated backgrounds. You could have just the background. You could have just the clock. But I figure the clock and the calendar are the two things that you use most in a day. When you're talking to people, when you're coming in and out of meetings, and you know they tell you, oh, you have a meeting on the 5th or on the 6th, instead of thumbing through your phone to try to get to the calendar, you have it right there in front of your face at all times. So I think it's definitely something that's very beneficial, and I'm really liking the always on display. So again, another key feature that I really like is, you can't really see it right now, but you have the micro SD slot, which I'm sorry, the SIM slot that doubles as a micro SD card slot. So just a bit of advice for you guys that are thinking about purchasing a micro SD card. Make sure you purchase a micro SD card that has at least 90 megabits per second. I was hearing from some sources that if you purchase a slower micro SD card, being that this phone is the chipset is so fast and the functionality of the phone works so well, that the older SD cards won't work with this phone. I haven't had the opportunity to try an older SD card, but from what I've been hearing, if you have an older SD card, it will be so slow, it'll be virtually useless. So they recommend to have a 90 megabit per second micro SD card. I winded up going with a Samsung micro SD card, which only makes sense being that this is a Samsung device. I purchased the Samsung 64 gig Pro, which was 90 megabits per second, and I paid $35 for it. So make sure you don't buy off of certain sites like eBay and things of that nature. I wanted to buy directly from Samsung, and I purchased it for $35. Alright guys, so the next feature that I really didn't have a lot of time to play with, but let me zoom out a little bit. Sorry guys. Is the camera. So let me take this out the way for a second. Move one of my daughter's toys in the shot. Okay, so you still have a lot of the options that you had on the S6, like the double tap the home button, and it'll launch the camera. So the camera is definitely an amazing camera, and it's really good. You guys see that right there? You guys see me? Zoom in on there. And some of the details right there are just amazing. You could see everything. You could, before it starts getting grainy, look how close up I am on that shot. Also, let me try to turn the lights down low. So I don't know if this will do it a lot of justice, but let's try to take a picture in really low light. And as you can see, you know, compared to the shot in the camera, it's picking up so much more light because of that 1.7 inch aperture on there. It's really picking up the device. Look how much brighter and open it looks right there. So let's take a shot in low light. Take a look at that. And look at that. So this is the actual toy, and this is the shot. And look how much brighter it actually looks. Right now, with my Note 5, I'm barely seeing, and I'm actually filming on the Note 5, I'm barely seeing this toy right here. It's very dark. But look at the difference here. Look at how much more light is here. It's amazing. So this is one of the best, if not the, let me correct that. That's the best camera in low light photography that's out right now on the market. It's really just that amazing. Let me turn the light back on. So one of the next questions I had is obviously size comparison to the Galaxy S7. So to do it complete justice, let me take my case off. So this is the Galaxy S7 and the Galaxy S7 Edge side by side. So as you can tell, there's not that much of a size difference, which is pretty good. This is a 5.5 inch display. This is a 5.1 inch display right here. And from a size comparison, they were able to fit a lot more screen real estate in a smaller form factor, partly because of the edge design on it as well. A lot of the edge, rolls off to the side, so you're not getting a bigger panel. It's just, I mean, you're getting a bigger panel, but it's curved to the side, so you get that smaller form factor there instead of making the device a lot bigger like I have on the Note 5, which is a 5.7 inch display, and the device is bigger than all three of these, obviously, since it's bigger. But let's, again, I'm going to put these two devices on top of each other, and let me see if I could pull it up for you guys so you can see. As you can see over here, there's just that much of a forehead over here, but not by very much. Now, let's readjust that camera. Now, if you want to see from a bottom view, so if you're looking at it from a bottom view, right, because of the edges, it is bigger on the sides, but because the edges roll off over there, it doesn't feel that way, but it is bigger, okay? Let's do a little side comparison right there. So it's a little side comparison right here. So if you're really looking at the thickness of it right there, the thickness of the edge, from what I'm being told, is actually thicker than the Galaxy S7. But because the Galaxy S7 has a thicker bezel, because it doesn't have the edge, it actually makes the phone look thicker, even though it's not. Let's look at the back. So the back's right here. Now, if you're not seeing, I have a gold version of the Galaxy S7 and a silver version of the Galaxy S7 Edge. Okay, so those are some of the key features that I really enjoy on this phone. Now let's get into the UI just a little bit. So, try to zoom in a little bit. Okay, so with some of the Android M features on here, you see there's a lot of stuff over here that we didn't have before. Before you had the quick menu right here, and they only illuminated this certain amount of icons, and you had to scroll to the side to get everything else, and then you actually had to go into the settings to have the pull down come down all the way. But if you could pull it down one time and then you pull it down a second time, you have a lot of the additional features that we did have at one point, but we lost with the Galaxy S6. So I'm glad to see that those key features are back. And you have a different color palette. Everything is like white, brighter, cleaner, crisper, and I actually like the way this operates. So in the regard to speed, I haven't seen any kind of lag whatsoever. Let me go into the menu and go into, where is it? The Smart Manager. Okay, so right now I'm using 81% of RAM. I have a lot of applications open. I have a lot of pages open in the internet browser. I have 14 pages open in the internet browser, and I could go through all the pages like butter, like nothing. That's not for me, that's for my daughter. Numerous emails, numerous applications running in the background. Let's go back into the Smart Manager. So as you can see, I got a lot of things going on right now. All these applications are running right now, so I can end them all. So for the most part, you'll have almost a full gig of memory available. So right now I have a full gig of memory available at any given time, and I haven't noticed any kind of lag whatsoever. Everything is very speedy, no issues whatsoever. Now, one of the last things I really want to get into is just the feel in hand. Like, it feels very comfortable. The curved edge right here, which is carried over from the Note series, it makes the device feel very firm. It grips very well in the hand. I could touch my two fingers together across the whole device, and it's very ergonomic, and it fits in the hand very well. Now, I did make a video for the Spigen Ultra Hybrid case, and that's the case that I'm rocking on this right now. I really like this case. It's very minimal, not a lot of bezel to the side of it, not a lot of edge to it. I will admit it's a bit of a fingerprint magnet, but if you're OCD like me, you'll have one of these microfiber cloths, and you'll be cleaning that off before you put your case on. So if there's anything else you guys want to know about this phone, please leave it in the comments section below. I touch base on battery life, the display, the camera, the goods and the bads about it. And I think overall, if you have a Galaxy S6 Edge Plus, you might not want to jump on board with this. But if you have anything under that, maybe even just the S6 because of the RAM management issues and the battery life, I think the Edge or even the regular S7 is the way to go. Just in terms of battery life and the updated camera, I think it's a no-brainer. So once again, guys, please leave me a comment in the comment section below if you have any questions. And please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video.